Hello guys, welcome back to Phyla NEET Academy. Today we are going to deal with the chapter number 4, Animal Kingdom, and this is a chapter of zoology. So let's start. This chapter is also having high weightage, as you know, and we will be seeing the important points and where all you have to be more careful in this chapter. Okay, let's see. As we know, we have studied what are the classification, what are the basis of classification and all. Different types of classification. Now we are going into the animal kingdom and different characteristics which they use for the classification and about different phylums. Okay. So now let's see what are the basis of classification. This is the first important point to be noted in this chapter. The basis of classification are arrangement of cells. Arrangement of cells means how the cell is arranged. Okay. Body symmetry, nature of coelom. Coelom means the cavity between body wall and gut wall. Okay. Then patterns of digestive, circulatory and reproductive systems. Okay. These are the basis of classification: arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of coelom, patterns of digestive, circulatory and reproductive systems. Okay, clear. Now let's go into detail of each of these character. The first one is arrangement of cells, right? So the arrangement of cells is like, first there will be cell. When the cells are arranged together, it will form tissue, and when the tissues are arranged together, this will give rise to form a organ. Okay, this is cell. See, it's cell to tissue, tissue to organ, and organ to, and from organ it is cell to tissue, and tissue to organ level. So it is cell level organization, tissue level organization, organ level organization, and at last these all organs together will form organ system level of organization. Clear? And now we will see examples of each of these. Cellular level organization is seen in sponges. Cellular level organization is seen in sponges cellular level. Okay. Then tissue level organization is seen in different type of cells, different types of phylum that we will study later, and organ level is seen in platyhelminthes. Organ level is seen in platyhelminthes, and in animals like annelids, arthropods, mollusks. Annelids, arthropods and mollusks, it is seen organ system level of classification. So cellular level sponges, tissue level all the others, then platyhelminthes organ level, and all the other below that is organ system level. Okay, clear? Okay. Now the digestive system in platyhelminthes has okay. Now what is the specialty of digestive system? The digestive system is known as closed digestive system if it is having separate opening for entry of food and the exit of food. If it is having separate opening for entry and exit of food, then it is known as closed circulatory system. Then if it is having just then it is known as complete digestive system. Okay. If it is just having only one opening which is the same for exit and entry, then it is known as incomplete. Okay. Complete and incomplete digestive system. And platyhelminthes just have one. Platyhelminthes has only single opening. So platyhelminthes is having incomplete digestive system. This we will study in each of the phylums. So don't have to worry about it. Just read through this. Okay. And circulatory system can also be of two types. One is open type, one is closed type. Open type is where the blood, all the organs are bathed in the blood. When the organs are bathed in the blood, then it is known as open type of circulation. If the blood is flowing through separate vessels, then it is known as closed type of. Okay. Now symmetry. Symmetry is very easy. Symmetry is like, if we draw a line through the organisms, if it cuts into two equal halves, then it is bilateral symmetry. Okay. If any plane passing through the organism can cut the organism into two identical halves. Any plane. Please note the word. See. If any planes, when any planes passing through the central axis can cut the organism into two identical portions, then it is known as radial symmetry. But if it is divided only in in just one plane it is divided into identical left and right, then it is known as bilateral symmetry. Okay, body can be divided into identical left and right in only one plane. Just remember the word, only one plane, it is bilateral symmetry. In any plane it is radial symmetry. If it is not symmetrical, means whichever plane we try, it won't go into identical pieces, then it is known as asymmetrical. And example for asymmetry is sponges. Just have in your mind that the order that we are studying, the order of phylums that we are studying from the lowest class to the higher class, so that all the characters get developed in each of the phylums. So we just have to remember sponges will be having asymmetry, the next one may be having symmetrical, radial symmetry, then bilateral symmetry. So it gets developed. All the characters will be like this only. Okay. Now just see the example. This is bilateral symmetry, this is radial symmetry. Okay, clear? Now going into the diploblastic triploblastic organization. Means if the animals is arranged with the germinal layers, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, then it is known as diploblastic. Means two cell layers are there, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, and in between them there will be a mesoglia. Clear? Okay. If the middle layer mesoglia is also differentiated into a cell layer which is known as mesoderm, then it is triploblastic. So diploblastic is two cell layers, one is ectoderm, one is endoderm. If it is three layer, which means the mesoglia is differentiated into a new layer, mesoderm, then it is known as diploblastic. Okay, and let's see who is diploblastic and okay, diploblastic are coelontrates. Coelontrates are diploblastic, and platyhelminthes to chordates. All the organisms from platyhelminthes till chordates are triploblastic. Okay, clear? Now going into coelom. What is coelom? Coelom is the cavity between the gut wall and body wall. Okay, and it is known as coelom. If coelom is present, then they are called coelomates. If there is no coelom, they are known as acoelomates. And if there is pseudocoelom, means I will tell you about it. This is the coelom. This is the ectoderm. This is the mesoderm, and this is mesoderm and endoderm again. So this cavity between the cell layers, if there is a presence of cavity between the cell layers, they are known as coelomates. Okay, and if there is no cavity between the cell layers, then they are known as acoelomates. Okay, instead of having cavity, means they are having cavity, but in between them the mesoderms are arranged like this. If the mesoderm cells are arranged like this in the cavity, then they are known as pseudocoelomates. Just remember, pseudocoelomates is just only one phylum. Who is this pseudocoelomate phylum? Aschelyminthes. Okay, Aschelyminthes is pseudocoelomates. Okay, clear? And who all are coelomates? All the higher phyla will be in coelomates. Okay, annelid, mollusk, arthropoda, echinoderms, hemichordates and chordates. So just remember this. If you study from this part itself, it will be easy when you come into the particular phyla. Okay, just write it here. Diploblastic. Who was diploblastic? Diploblastic was just coelontrates. Okay, coelontrates. The sponges are not even having tissue like arrangement, so they don't come into this classification. So we started with coelontrates, then from okay, from platyhelminthes till chordates, it's triploblastic. And who all are coelomates? Who all are coelomates? Coelomates are from annelid till chordates. Annelid till chordates are coelomates. Okay. Who all are acoelomates? Acoelomates is just one phyla. Acoelomate is platyhelminthes. And who is pseudocoelomate? This is important. This is a PYQ. Okay. Pseudocoelomate is Aschelyminthes. Clear? Okay. Now going into segmentation. As we know that earthworm can be cut into equal segments, right? So like that, there are some particular organism, particular phyla which can in which the organism can be divided into equal parts, okay, equal segments. It's more better when we use the word equal segment, and the speciality of the segment is that it will be externally and internally the same with the other segment. Okay, I will make it you clear. Externally and internally divided into segments with serial replication of at least some organism, which means this is the organism. See, this is the organism and the segments will be having serial repeated. The segments, this is one segment, this is the another segment. Oh, it's not clear. Okay, this is the organism. This is the organism, and the organism if divided like into segments, both the segments will be having same organs, means there will be a repetition of the organs, and this segments will be looking alike and the segments will be alike. So they are known as segments. Okay, and this process, this phenomenon is known as metamerism. This is known as metamerism. Okay, known as metamerism, and the example is earthworm. Clear? Now going into notocode. Notocode, what is notocode? Notocode is mesodermally derived rod-like structure. What is notocode? Notocode is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure. This is important point to be noted because they may ask what is the origin of notocode. So the origin of notocode is mesoderm, and where it is formed. Notocode, even if you touch in your back, you will be able to palpate, you will be able to touch the spinal cord, right? So all these are via chordates, so we got it from the primitive notocode. So this is a rod-like structure and it is in the dorsal side. What is ventral and dorsal? Ventral side means the side which is inside is known as ventral, and the side which is outside is known as dorsal. So this is our ventral side and this is our dorsal side. The back is dorsal side. So this notocode is present on dorsal side. Okay, it is present in dorsal side. This is also, they can ask this as a statement. Okay, rod-like structure mesodermally derived on the dorsal side during embryonic development. Okay, clear? And animals with notocode are known as chordates, and without notocodes are known as non-chordates. And who are chordates? Just chordates. The phylum Chordata are chordates. Who are non-chordates? From Porifera, means from the sponges till Hemichordata, till Echinochordata, everyone is non-chordates. Clear? Because Hemichordata is Hemichordata, that we will study later. Okay, we just have to remember who all are the non-chordates, Porifera to echinoderms. Okay, classification of animals. Okay, now what all we have studied, we will be going to summarize it. Clear? Okay, let's see. This is level of organization, cellular level. Who is in cellular level? It is Porifera, means sponges. Okay, it will be mostly asymmetrical, right? We said that it is asymmetrical. It doesn't have a coelom because it doesn't even have a tissue system, so it doesn't have a coelom, so it is acoelomate. So the phylum is Porifera. Okay, tissue or organ, all the others will be tissue, organ or organ system level of classification, and who all are having radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Let's see. Radial symmetry is for radial symmetry and acoelomate. Radial symmetry and acoelomate. Who is acoelomate? Coelenterata. Okay, Coelenterata is having radial symmetry and it is acoelomate. Okay, and in bilateral symmetry, who is acoelomate? Platyhelminthes. So acoelomate is Platyhelminthes and pseudocoelomate is Aschelminthus, and coelomates are Annelida to chordate. Clear? Okay, now going into each of the phyla. Clear? So the first phylum is phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera we will see. Okay, first we will see the examples. The first one is, okay, the first picture that you see is Cycon. Okay, the second one you see is Euspongia, and the third one is Spongilla. The Euspongia is also known as a bath sponge. Okay, Euspongia is also known as bath sponge, Cycon is known as Scypha, and Spongilla is known as freshwater sponge. Okay, so it will be better if you write it here itself, so that it will be easy for your revision. Okay, Scypha, this is This is Euspongia and it is known as bath sponge. Bath sponge. Okay, and this one is freshwater sponge. Freshwater sponge. And now what all are the characteristics of this phylum Porifera? Okay, first we will learn about these characteristic features of phylum Porifera. So just see. Okay, phylum Porifera, it is asymmetric. It is asymmetric, as we studied, it is asymmetric. Then it is having cellular level of organization. It is having cellular level of organization. The digestion of the organism is intracellular, means the digestion happens inside the cells. Okay. Then hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodites means the sexes are not separate, means both the male and female are in the same organism. If the both female and male is in same organism, it is known as hermaphrodite and sexes are not separate. Okay, what is the form of reproduction? Form of reproduction can be asexual or sexual. You can write it down so that it will be easier. Okay, reproduction is asexual or sexual. Now fertilization. Fertilization is internal. Okay, development is indirect. What is indirect development? Indirect development means the form, the previous form will be different from the adult form. The young form of the organism will be different from the adult form, so that it is known as indirect development. Okay. Okay, that is what is known as larva different from the adult form. Okay, now going into more, these are the basic features of phylum Porifera. Okay, this you have to note. And now going into the most important features of phylum Porifera. The first thing, this all we studied: asymmetric, primitive, multicellular, having cellular level of organization. And this is the first point that you have to note. It possesses a water transport or canal system. Okay, you shouldn't confuse it with echinodermata, because echinodermata is having water vascular system and Porifera is having water transport or canal system. What is it? Water transport or canal system. Okay. Now just see this picture. Okay. Now just see this picture. This is a pictorial representation of phylum Porifera. Just see that the opening, this 3, what I written 3 is the opening of the organism, and that opening is known as osculum. Okay. And when the small rounds which I have drawn is the small cavities through which the water enter inside to the organism. So, the water enter inside through these small circles. So, the water enters through these small circles, water enter into the organism through these small cavities, they are known as ostia, and the hollow cavity of the organism is known as spongiocele, and the opening through which the water which go out is known as osculum. Okay, clear. So, there are 3 things that you have to note. Ostia are small pores through which the water enter into the organism. Then spongiocele is the cavity where all the water is stored. Okay, and osculum is the mouth through which the water is expelled out. Clear? Okay. And what is the use of having this system? What is the use of having in this system? It is common sense. We can just say that it is for food gathering, for respiratory exchange, for their food gathering, their respiratory exchange and removal of waste. Okay, clear? And this these blue cells which I have drawn here, these blue cells I have drawn here is known as choanocytes. Choanocytes. Okay, this is a specific feature of phylum Porifera. Choanocytes are cells which line the spongiocele. Spongiocele is the cavity, right? So, the cells which are lining the cavity are known as choanocytes. Clear? Okay. And the body is also supported by spicules and spongin. The body is also supported by a skeleton which is made up of spicules and spongin. Sponge is a part of phylum Porifera. So, spicules and spongin. Okay. Rest all we have discussed. Okay, now going into the next phylum, phylum Coelenterata. What is the next phylum? Phylum Coelenterata, which is also known as phylum Cnidaria. Clear? Okay. They are aquatic and mostly marine. Okay. First, as we said, for the phylum Porifera, we will discuss the basic characteristics of phylum Cnidaria also. The phylum Cnidaria will be having phylum Cnidaria. See. Okay. This is not visible, so I will go through this NCERT only. Okay. Phylum Cnidaria. Phylum Cnidaria can be sessile or free living. Phylum Cnidaria can be sessile or free living, and they are radially symmetrical. These sponges were asymmetrical, but this phylum Cnidaria are radially symmetrical. Okay. Okay, how the name Cnidaria came? The name Cnidaria is from a specialized cell which is known as nidoblast or nidocytes. Okay, which is due to a specialized cells which is known as nidoblast or nidocytes. What is the use of having these cells? This have stinging capsule or nematocytes. This is having stinging capsule. Okay, stinging capsule. These are stinging capsule, which is also known as nematocyte. And these nematocytes are present on the tentacles of the body. What is tentacles? These structures are known as tentacles. Okay. So, this stinging capsule or nematocyte is present inside the nidoblast. Okay. This nidoblast gave the name Cnidaria for this organisms. Clear? Now going into the uses of having this nidoblast. The uses is anchorage, defense, capture of the prey. Anchorage means it helps to anchor, defense and capture of prey. Okay, what is the level of organization? Sponges was cellular level, Cnidaria is tissue level of organization. Okay, they are diploblastic. As we said, they are diploblastic. Cnidaria is the only one phylum which is diploblastic. Clear? Okay. And they have a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening. Okay, they have a central gastrovascular cavity. See, this is the gastrovascular cavity. This is the gastrovascular cavity. Okay, this is the gastrovascular cavity and this is having a mouth hypostome. Okay. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular, and the examples are corals. Okay, examples are corals. What about their skeletal composition? The skeleton is composed of calcium carbonate. The skeleton is composed of calcium carbonate, and there are two basic body forms. One is polyp and the other one is medusa. Two basic body forms. One is polyp and the other one is medusa. What is polyp and what is medusa? This is medusa. Medusa, which is looking like an umbrella. Medusa is the thing which looks like an umbrella, and polyp is a cylindrical form. Polyp is cylindrical and medusa is umbrella like. Okay, clear? Okay. Polyp is sessile and cylindrical, which means it is attached. It is sessile and cylindrical. Just see the picture. It is sessile. It is adhered to the surface. So, it is sessile, and this is free living. This is free living and it is not cylindrical. This is cylindrical and sessile. This is free living and umbrella shaped. Okay. And what are the examples of polyps and what are the examples of medusa? The examples of polyp is Adamsia and Hydra. Adamsia and Hydra are examples of polyp. Okay. And the example for Aurelia or Medusa is Obelia. Okay. Medusa, example for Medusa is Obelia, and example for polyps are Adamsia and Hydra. Clear? Now the examples. What are the examples for the class Cnidaria? For the phylum Cnidaria. Physalia, it's Portuguese man of war. Okay. Adamsia, it is sea anemone. Pennatula, sea pen. Gorgonia, sea fan, and Meandrina, brain coral. This you have to note these things. These examples are important. Physalia is Portuguese man of war. Adamsia, sea anemone. Pennatula, sea pen. Gorgonia, sea fan, and Meandrina, brain coral. Okay. And just see this. Obelia is Obelia is an organism which shows a peculiarity, which is that it will be polyp. Initially it is polyp and it undergoes asexual reproduction. Polyp undergo asexual reproduction to form medusa, and medusa undergoes sexual reproduction to form polyp. Clear? So, there is alternation of the phases. Alternation of the phases is there. It is present in Obelia, and polyp will undergo asexual reproduction to form medusa. Medusa undergo sexual reproduction to form polyp. You should not mix it together. Polyp is asexual. Polyp undergo asexual reproduction. Medusa undergo sexual reproduction. Okay. Now coming into the phylum Ctenophora. Phylum Ctenophora. Okay. Phylum Ctenophora is commonly known as sea walnuts. Just see the shape. It is also known as sea walnuts. Okay. It is also known as comb jellies. Comb jellies. It is exclusively marine. Just see these basic characters. It is exclusively marine. Exclusively marine means it is only seen in marine. Nowhere else it is seen. Okay. Radial symmetry. Radial symmetry, just see in any planes they will give you equal parts. Okay. So, radial symmetry. Diploblastic. So, ectoderm, endoderm and mesoglia. Okay. And tissue level of organization. Clear? And comb plates. What is the speciality of this phylum? They are having comb plates. How many comb plates? 8 external rows of comb plates. They are having 8 external rows of comb plates. Clear? And they also have a special property which is known as bioluminescence. What is bioluminescence? Bioluminescence is the ability of an organism to emit light. Clear? Bioluminescence is shown by Ctenophora. Clear? Okay. And it is also hermaphrodite. What does they mean by hermaphrodite? Sexes are not separate, both female and male in same organism. Okay. And here the sexual it happens only sexual reproduction. So, just see, from Porifera it was asymmetrical, then it got into radial symmetry in Ctenophora, in Cnidaria and in Ctenophora. Clear? And it was asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction in the Porifera, but while reaching into Ctenophora it turned only into sexual reproduction. Clear? And it was cellular organization in Porifera and tissue level organization in Cnidaria and Ctenophora. Clear? Okay. And fertilization is external and indirect development. Some of the characters also go behind because fertilization was internal in Porifera, but here the fertilization is external and indirect development. Okay. What are the examples? Examples are pleurobrachia and ctenoplana. Examples are pleurobrachia and ctenoplana. Clear? Okay. Now going into the, so what is this organism? This organism is Ctenophora, which is known as pleurobrachia. Okay. This is pleurobrachia. Just remember the pictures also, because pictures are also important in your NEET. Now coming into the next phylum. Which is the next phylum? Next phylum is phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay. Now let us see the features of Platyhelminthes. Okay. Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes, the characters are, it is flat. The organism is flat. Just see the picture, will be able to note it that the organism is flat. Since the organism is flat, it is known as Platyhelminthes. Okay. It is an endoparasite. It can be found in humans and other organisms as endoparasite. Endoparasite means the parasite which lives inside the body. Okay. Endoparasite. Then it is having bilateral symmetry. Just see the organism. I have given a cut through the organism so that it divides into identical left and right parts. So, this is bilateral symmetry. Since till Ctenophora we have studied, they are giving radial symmetry, but when we reach into Platyhelminthes, we got that they are bilaterally symmetrical. Okay. Triploblastic organization. Triploblastic. Okay. Then acoelomate means they doesn't have a coelom. They doesn't have a coelom. Then organ level of organization. Till Ctenophora it was tissue level of organization. While reaching into Platyhelminthes, we have noted it, they are having organ level of organization. Organ level of organization. And what are their organs? Which are their organs? Their organs are hooks and suckers. What are hooks and suckers? Hooks and suckers are the organs that they use for absorbing the food. Okay. Hooks and suckers are used by platyhelminthes, and these hooks and suckers are found in their parasitic forms. Hooks and suckers are found in the parasitic forms of platyhelminthes, which help them to absorb their nutrition. Okay, absorb their nutrition. But some of the platyhelminthes absorb their nutrition by the direct body surface. Okay, some of them absorb through hooks and suckers, but many of the others absorb through direct body surface. Now, what is flame cells? Flame cells are specialized cells. Okay, just see. What is flame cells? Flame cells are specialized cells which are used for osmoregulation and excretion. Flame cells are used for osmoregulation and excretion. Clear? Okay, osmoregulation and excretion, flame cells. Now, what about the sex? It is again hermaphrodite, which means the sexes are not separate. Okay, fertilization is again coming back into internal. Fertilization is internal. And there is one organism in platyhelminthes. There is one organism in platyhelminthes which is having high regeneration capacity. Which is that organism? Planaria. So, this is a PYQ and you have to note it specifically. Planaria. Planaria. Just see. Planaria is an organism which is having high regeneration capacity. Okay, and what are the examples? Taenia, which is a tapeworm, and Fasciola, liver fluke. This liver fluke will cause many diseases which you will study further. Okay, Taenia is a tapeworm and Fasciola is a liver fluke. So, this is about phylum Platyhelminthes. Now, we are going into the next phylum. Okay, the next phylum is phylum Aschelminthes. Okay, phylum Aschelminthes. First, we will see about the basic characters of Aschelminthes. The first character is that it is organ system level of classification. Organ system level of classification. Okay. It is circular in cross section. If we cut the organism, it will be giving circular cross sections. So, it is circular. Because of this property, it gained the name which is known as roundworms. Okay, roundworms. And it may be free living, aquatic or terrestrial or parasitic in plants and animals. It is not so important, just note it. Okay, and this is the important point. It is having organ system level of body organization. Okay, bilaterally symmetrical. Just see the picture. If we divide in a straight plane, if we divide in a single plane, it will give left and right identical portions. So, it is bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, triploblastic as we studied, and the most important thing is that it is pseudocoelomate. It is pseudocoelomate. Okay, pseudocoelomate means which does not have a true coelom. Clear? Okay, and it is having a special character which is known as muscular pharynx. Okay, muscular pharynx is a part of its alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is the gut canal. Okay, alimentary canal is complete, which means it's having separate entry and exit points. Separate entry and exit openings are present. So, the alimentary canal or the digestive system is complete, and it is having one more structure, one additional structure, that is known as muscular pharynx. Okay, muscular pharynx. And excretory tubes removes the waste from the body. Okay, they are also having an excretory tube and it excretes through a pore which is known as excretory pore. Okay, these all specialties are for Aschelminthes. Now comes the most important point. The most important points are is that it is dioecious, which means till Platyhelminthes we have discussed the sexes are not separate, which means it was male and female organism was in the same organism. Okay, male and female male and female organisms of the same organism was same, but here the sexes are separate, which means there is separate female, separate male in this type of organism. So, they are known as dioecious. Okay, and often females are longer than males. Just see the picture and you will get it. This is male and this is the first picture is male and the second picture is female. The female is longer than male. So, in Aschelminthus the female organism is longer than the male organism. And now the fertilization is internal, and development can be direct or indirect. Okay, both can be there. And what are the examples? Ascaris is roundworm, hookworm is filarial worm, and ankylostoma. Filarial worm is Wuchereria and ankylostoma is hookworm. Okay, clear. There are 3 examples that they have given. The first one is Ascaris. Ascaris is roundworm. Then the second one is Wuchereria. Wuchereria is a filarial worm, and the third one is ankylostoma. Ankylostoma is a hookworm. Clear? Okay, now going into the next phylum. Next phylum is phylum Annelida. Okay, phylum Annelida. So, phylum Annelida can be aquatic, free living, and sometimes parasitic. Which were endoparasites? The endoparasites were platyhelminthes. Note the point, endoparasites, platyhelminthes. This roundworm can also act as endoparasites. Okay. Now, the phylum Annelida sometimes parasitic, means it can also act as parasite. It is free living, terrestrial and aquatic. Clear? Okay. Organ system level of classification. Till now we haven't reached the organ system, right? So, from here, from the phylum Aschelminthus, we have started organ system level of classification. Till Platyhelminthes, it was organ level of classification. From Aschelminthus, we have started organ system level of classification, and Annelida also belongs to organ system level of classification. And it also possesses bilateral symmetry. Just cut the organism in a single plane, it will give left and right identical portions. Okay. Bilateral symmetry, triploblastic, metamerically segmented. As I said, metamerism is the property in which each segment have serial repetition of organs. Okay. So, the same organs will be repeated in each segment, then they are known as metamerically segmented. Okay. This is the point to be noted in this phylum, metamerically segmented. And they are coelomate. This is the first coelomate organism. This is the first coelomate organism. Okay. So, which is the first coelomate organism? It is Annelid. Till here it was pseudocoelomate or acoelomate. From Annelid it is coelomate. Okay. And metameres are present, and how the name Annelids means little ring because of the metamerism. Okay. And they also possess longitudinal and circular muscles. They have longitudinal and circular muscles which is helpful for their respiratory processes. Okay, which is helpful for their breathing. Respiratory muscles are longitudinal and circular. Respiratory muscles, the longitudinal and circular muscles are which are helpful for their locomotion. Please note the change. The circulatory muscles and longitudinal muscles are helpful in their locomotion, not in their respiration. Okay, in their locomotion. And for their locomotion, they also have some appendages, paired appendages, and they are known as parapodia. Okay, these are the appendages. Appendages means kind of organs, right? So, if they are having lateral appendages, this is lateral appendages. Lateral appendages, they are known as parapodia. The lateral appendage is also known as parapodia, and which is seen in an organism known as Nereis. It is a type of annelid. Okay. And a closed circulatory system is present. Closed circulatory system. What do you mean by closed circulatory system? Where the blood vessels are present through which the blood flows. Okay. The organs are not bathed in the blood is passed, the blood is flowing through the vessels. Okay. Now, nephridia. Nephridia is a organ which is helpful for their osmoregulation and excretion. Nephridia is related to nephro. Nephro means kidney. Okay. So, it is helpful for osmoregulation and excretion. And neural system. We said that they have developed organ system level of classification. So, we studied about the excretory system having nephridia. Now, neural system which is having ganglia, and this ganglia is having lateral nerves. This ganglia, there will be a ganglia, and this ganglia will be connected by lateral nerves. Okay, lateral nerves. And Nereis is an aquatic form. Nereis is a special form. Nereis is a special organism in annelids, and it is an aquatic form, and it is dioecious. What do you mean by dioecious? Means both the sexes are separate. Okay. And even though we have reached the state where both the sexes are separate, in annelids there are examples for which they are monoecious. Okay. In annelids both dioecious and monoecious species are present. Which is the dioecious species? Nereis is dioecious. Okay. Earthworm and leech are monoecious. Earthworms and leeches are monoecious, and Nereis is dioecious. Clear? You should not confuse between them. And reproduction is sexual. Okay. Nereis, examples: Nereis ferritima, which is also known as earthworm. Earthworm is also known as ferritima. Okay. Hiridonoria, Hiridonoria is blood sucking leech. Just see the examples also. The first one is Nereis. The first one is Nereis, and the second picture is Hiridonoria. Clear? Now coming into the next phylum. The next phylum is phylum Arthropoda. Phylum Arthropoda is the largest phylum. Phylum Arthropoda is the largest phylum. It consists of the 2/3 of total animal kingdom. Okay. It consists of the total 2/3 of species on earth. Okay. And it has organ system level of classification. We have reached the organ system level of classification, so it's fine. Then bilaterally symmetric, triploblastic, and they are coelomate animals. Triploblastic, segmented. They are also segmented animals. Just see, you can cite the segments in these pictures. These are segments. Okay, they are segmented. Organ system bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate. And the body consists of head. The body consists of head, thorax, and abdomen. The body consists of head, thorax, and abdomen. Just see the picture. The body of the organism has head, abdomen, head, thorax comes the next, and the next one is abdomen. Okay. And they also have jointed appendages. See, they also have appendages. These are the appendage. So just because they are having jointed appendages, they are known as arthropodas. Okay. Arthropodas. Arthros means joint and poda is appendage. Okay. And what was parapodia? Parapodia was lateral appendages. Clear? Parapodia is present in annelid, and jointed appendages are present in arthropoda. Okay. Now what are the respiratory organisms? Respiratory organs. Since this is having respiratory system, the respiratory organs are gills, book lungs, and tracheal system. Okay. Never in this animal kingdom we have studied, never till now we have studied something known as respiratory organs, right? So respiratory organ like gills, book lungs, and tracheal system are seen in arthropoda. Now circulatory system. Circulatory system is of open. For annelid, the circulatory system was closed because there were vessels. But for arthropoda, circulatory system is open, which means the organs are bathed inside the organism. Okay, the organs are bathed in the blood. All the organs will be bathed in the blood, so the circulatory system is open. This is a point that you have to note. The circulatory system, see, the circulatory system is open. The circulatory system is open. Circulatory system is open. Just noted, circulatory system is of open type. And they also have specialized structures. They are also having specialized structures which is known as antenna, eyes. Okay, there are 3 specialized structures for arthropoda. Okay, the specialized structures are antenna, eyes, and statocyst. Okay, antenna and eyes is for their vision, and statocyst is for their balancing. Static is balancing, so statocyst is for their balancing. Okay, they are also known as balancing organs. And the eyes, just see this, the eyes can be compound and simple. And how the excretion takes place. Nephridia was the excretory organ in annelid, and the excretory organ in arthropoda is Malpighian tubules. Clear? The excretory organ is Malpighian tubule. They are mostly dioecious. In annelid we have seen that they are dioecious and monoecious, but here they are mostly dioecious. Okay, Fertilization is usually internal. Fertilization is internal, and there is a new point that we are coming through. It is oviparous. Arthropoda, phylum Arthropoda is oviparous. Okay, the development may be direct or indirect. And now what are the important examples? Okay, the important examples are Apis, which is honeybee. Apis is honeybee. Bombyx is silkworm. Okay, Bombyx is silkworm. Apis is honeybee, Bombyx is silkworm, and Laxifer is lac insect. Just remember the examples because examples are important. Okay, vectors, Anopheles, Culex, Aedes. Okay, and what is the gregarious pest? Gregarious pest is Locusta or locust. And the next one is living fossil. Living fossil is Limulus of or king crab. What was the living fossil of plant kingdom? The living fossil of plant kingdom was Ginkgo. Okay, the living fossil of animal kingdom is Limulus, which is also known as king crab. Okay, clear? Now just see the pictures. The first one is a locust. Locust. What is locust? Locust is a gregarious pest. Locust is a gregarious pest. Okay. The second one is a butterfly, and the third one is a scorpion, and the fourth one is a prawn. Clear? Now going into the next phylum. The next phylum is phylum Mollusca. Okay, phylum Mollusca is the second largest. Which was the largest phylum? The largest phylum was Arthropoda. The second largest phylum is phylum Mollusca. Okay, clear? This phylum can be terrestrial. This phylum can be present terrestrial or aquatic, both terrestrial and aquatic, marine or freshwater. Okay, they are having organ system level of classification. Organ system level of classification, they are bilaterally symmetrical. Now it become more easier because as higher the phylum goes, it will be similar characters like bilaterally symmetrical, organ system level of classification, triploblastic, coelomate. Okay. Body is covered by, this is a point to be noted. These special points, only these special points you have to note down. Okay. The body is covered by calcareous shell. The body is covered by calcareous shell. And the body is unsegmented. Okay. Unsegmented with head, muscular foot and visceral hump. Annelid and arthropod were segmented. But here when we reach into mollusca, it is unsegmented and it is having head, muscular foot and visceral hump. Okay, clear? And there is a soft spongy layer covering the visceral hump. Just see, this is having head, body and hump. Okay, there is a spongy and skin, the spongy and soft layer. Spongy and soft, just imagine there is a soft and spongy layer which is over the hump. Which is known as mantle. Okay, which is known as mantle. Just see the soft and spongy, the soft and spongy layer of skins form a mantle over the hump. A mantle layer over the hump. So the soft and spongy layer is known as mantle layer. Okay. Now there is a cavity between the mantle and the hump. There is a cavity between the mantle layer and the hump. That cavity is known as mantle cavity. Okay. And inside this mantle cavity, just see this. Okay. This is a hump. And above the hump there is presence of a soft spongy layer. Just see this, there is presence of soft spongy layer which is known as mantle. And between the mantle layer, this is the mantle layer. This is the mantle layer. This is the hump. Okay, between them there is a cavity and this cavity is known as mantle cavity. Okay, and this cavity is having small structures which are known as gills. Okay, so in the mantle cavity there is gills. Feather like gills. And what are the uses of these gills? They are helpful in respiratory and excretory systems. Okay, they have respiratory and excretory functions. Okay, this also have anterior. This anterior part of the organism have tentacles. Okay, tentacles which are helpful for sensation. Okay, this is having one more feature, which is file like rasping organ for feeding, for their feeding. Just see, this is an octopus, right? In this octopus, the feeding is through this area, means they are having a feeding organ which is known as radula. It is rasping organ. It is known as rasping organ and they are called as radula. Okay, radula is seen in phylum Mollusca, radula mollusca. Okay, don't forget these specific characteristic features, radula in mollusca. Okay, and they are dioecious, as we said, they are dioecious. Then they are oviparous. Okay, oviparous and indirect development. Now what are the examples? Just see the examples. The examples are Phyla apple snail, Pinctada pearl oyster. Pinctada is pearl oyster and Sepia is cuttlefish. Loligo is squid. Loligo is squid. Octopus is devilfish. Aplysia sea hare. Dendalium tusk shell. Chaetoplura chiton. Okay, all these examples is, there is no other way, you have to study the examples. Okay, clear? Now going into phylum Echinodermata. Okay, phylum Echinodermata are having calcareous ossicles. They were having this mollusca. Phylum Mollusca was having calcareous shell, but here this organisms are having calcareous ossicles. Clear? Calcareous ossicles. Calcareous ossicles are present in phylum Echinochordata, and the name Echinochordata was from the spiny bodied, since they are spine bodied, means they are having the spines, so they are known as Echinodermata. And what are the characteristics? They are organ system level of classification, and there is one main point that you have to notice, that the adult echinodermates are radial symmetry. Okay, adult form of Echinodermata are having radial symmetry, whereas the larval form are having bilateral symmetry. Clear? Okay, adult form is having radial symmetry and the larvae form is having bilateral symmetry, and they are triploblastic, they are coelomate. Okay, now coming into digestive system, their digestive system is complete. What does they mean by digestive system is complete? They are having both anal opening, which means which means the exit, and the mouth, which means the entry. Okay, and the the mouth is in the ventral side. Ventral side means the inside. Okay, the mouth is in the ventral side, and the anus, which means the excretory part, excretory opening, is in the dorsal side. Okay, anus is in the dorsal side. And the most distinctive feature of echinodermates are that they are having water vascular system. As I said before, water canal system or water transport system. Okay, water canal or transport system is seen in phylum Porifera, but water vascular system is seen in phylum Echinochordata. Clear? And what are the uses of having this water vascular system? They are helpful in locomotion, capture, they are helpful in locomotion, capture and transport of food and respiration. Okay, and they are lacking an excretory system. Okay, excretory system is absent. This is the point to be noted. Even though the digestive system is complete with both the opening, the excretory system is absent. This is a point to be noted. Okay, the reproduction is sexual, fertilization is external. Now they have gone back, right? Till now we have studied that the fertilization is internal, but in Echinochordatas the fertilization is external. Clear? And the development is indirect. With free swimming larvae. Clear? And now what are the examples? The examples are Asteriasis, starfish. Asteriasis means starfish. Echinus is sea urchin. Okay, Asteriasis, starfish. Echinus is sea urchin. Antidon, sea lily. Cucumeria, sea cucumber. Ophiuria, brittle star. All these things are Echinodermatas. Okay, now coming into the next phylum, which is Hemichordata. Okay, Hemichordata was earlier classified as subchordata of chordata, subphylum of chordata, means earlier it was kept under the phylum chordata only as a part of chordata, but later they have developed a new phylum which is known as Hemichordata. Okay, and now they are a separate phyla. Now they are a separate phylum, and they have why they were kept as a subgroup, because they were having a rudiment structure. Rudiment means useless. Okay, now useless. Okay, rudiment structure which is similar to notochord. Rudimentary structure which is similar to notochord, and the structure was known as stomochord. The structure was known as stomochord, which means the organism, the phylum Hemichordata has a rudimentary structure, which is known as stomochord, which is known as stomochord. This stomochord is known as stomochord is a rudimentary structure which look like notochord. Okay, this is present in Hemichordata, so they are known as hemi. Hemi means half. Hemichordata. They are not chordata yet, but they are kind of chordata, so they are Hemichordata. Okay. Now what are the characteristics? It consists of, it is a small group. Point to be noted. Then it has worm-like marine organisms. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate. Okay, the body is cylindrical, and is composed of anterior proboscis, collar and long trunk. 3 parts: anterior proboscis, collar and trunk. Okay, just see the picture. This is their anterior proboscis, this is their collar, okay, and this is their trunk, long trunk. Okay. The circulatory system is of open type. Respiration takes place through gills. Where all we have studied gills? In mollusk we have studied gills. In Arthropoda and here in this Hemichordata also gills are present. Okay, excretory. What is the excretory organ? The excretory organ is proboscis. Gland. Okay, sexes are separate and the fertilization is external, development is indirect. What are the examples? Balanoglossus and Saccoglossus. Now the phylum Chordata we will be taking as second part, animal kingdom second part will be about phylum Chordata. And before completing the chapter, just have a quick revision of what all phylum we have studied today. Okay, just see here. It was first phylum Porifera, right? Phylum Porifera which is asymmetrical. Just try to memorize all the important points. Phylum Porifera is asymmetrical. It is having cellular level of organization. And what was the defining feature? It was having water transport or canal system. Clear? And they were having, this was having ostium, osculum, and one more thing, what was that? Spongocoel. Okay, spongocoel. And what was the skeleton composed of? The skeleton was composed of spongin and spicules. Clear? Okay, now just see the examples. The sexes are not separate, which means they were hermaphrodite. Okay, clear? These was all about Porifera, phylum Porifera. What were the examples? Euspongia, Spongilla. Okay. Now coming into phylum Cnidaria. Cnidaria which is also known as Cnidaria, and in Cnidaria, how the name Cnidaria? Cnidaria was from the name Cnidoblast, from the specialized cells. What were the specialized cells? Cnidoblast or cnidocytes. Okay. What was the speciality? They were having a structure known as stinging capsule. What is that? Stinging capsule or nematocyte. Okay, nematocyte. And what was the speciality? They were having two forms. Two forms are there. One is polyp. Polyp is cylindrical and sessile. Okay. Then it is medusa. Medusa is umbrella shaped and free living. Okay. And there are examples that you have to note, and there is a special alternation between polyp and medusa. Okay. Polyp to medusa, it was asexual reproduction, and Medusa to polyp it was sexual reproduction. Clear? Okay. So these two phylums are over. Then next what we studied? The next one what we studied was phylum Ctenoplana. Ctenophora. Okay, phylum Ctenophora. Phylum Ctenophora was also known as comb plates. Comb plates. Okay, they were having 8 external rows, 8 external comb plates. So they are known as comb plates. Okay. Then what was the defining character? They were having bioluminescence. What is they having? They are having bioluminescence, which means the ability to emit light. Okay. Then they started the okay, they were also having triploblastic, right? They were having diploblastic radial symmetry. They were having radial symmetry and comb plates bioluminescence, and they started just sexual reproduction only. Okay, clear? That was about Ctenophora. And coming into Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes are endoparasites. Platyhelminthes were endoparasites. Then they were triploblastic. Okay, Platyhelminthes. In Platyhelminthes they were triploblastic. They started the triploblastic. Okay, they started the organ level of organization. They also started bilateral symmetry. Then they are also endoparasites. Okay, and examples liver fluke and tapeworm. Clear? Now the next one was roundworms. Roundworms also known as Aschelyminthes. Aschelyminthes was pseudocoelomates. What was Aschelyminthes? Aschelyminthes was pseudocoelomates. Okay, pseudocoelomates, and they were the name roundworm. Then they were also having organ system level of classification. They were having organ system level of classification, and their digestive system was complete. Okay, digestive system was complete, and they were having a special structure known as muscular pharynx. And they are dioecious, means the sexes are separate. The first organism for having the sexes separate was Aschelyminthes. Okay, and the female were longer than the males. So this is all about Aschelyminthes. Then annelid were having metamerism. Then organ system level diploblastic, then metamerism. Okay, clear? Then coelomates. Aschelyminthes was pseudocoelomates. From annelids it's coelomates. Okay, and they are also having a special structure known as nephridia, which is helpful in osmoregulation and excretion. Okay, Nereis is a special type of organism, and this Nereis was also having lateral appendages, which is known as parapodia. Okay, then phylum Arthropoda, the largest phylum. Okay, organ system level of classification, bilateral symmetry as we studied. Then head, thorax and abdomen, jointed appendages, so Arthropoda. Okay, the respiratory organs was gills, book gills, trachea and book lungs. Okay, 3 special organs: antenna, eyes can be simple or compound, and the statocyst, which is balancing organ, and special structure malphigian tubule for excretion. Okay, and dioecious, the organism was dioecious. And examples you have to note: mollusca. In mollusca you have to learn about mantle layer, the mantle cavity. Inside the mantle cavity there is gills, and these gills are for respiration. Okay, then comes echinodermata, which is having spiny body. Okay, spiny body. And the point to be noted in echinodermata is that adult form is radial symmetry, but larval form is bilateral symmetry. Clear? Okay, and what about this? Okay, water vascular system. Echinodermata also possesses water vascular system. Okay, clear? And examples again you have to note: hemichordata. Hemichordata is was earlier considered as a subphylum. That is not so important. Now they are a new phylum hemichordata. Okay, why they are hemichordata? They are having a notochord, a structure which is similar to notochord, which is known as stomochord. Okay, stomochord, but it is rudimentary. And what are the 3 parts of hemichordata? It is anterior proboscis, then the collar region and the trunk. Proboscis, collar and trunk. Okay, circulatory system is of open type. Okay, and what are the examples? Balanoglossus and sarcoglossus. So this was all about today's class. Tomorrow we will be dealing with phylum chordata and the classes in phylum chordata and the PYQs. Okay, thank you all for listening me.